second guessing yourself on the way to a ride, I think. All right, 6 o'clock, 6:10, starting 10 minutes late. I'm at the Publix here in, I think this is Orange Park. I'm in Southwest Jacksonville. I'm gonna try to do a 300K pre-ride. Got some approval from the RBA. He was gracious to allow me an exception to the pre-ride rule. And I'm gonna ride it a little bit early. And we'll see how this goes. That's a new sound by me. Wait till this car goes by. These frogs. I'd think of it as like peepers or something, but they're like ticking sounds. Quiet cars. Listen to that. Just a new region and new sounds. We're going to see a lot of Circle K's today. Same road, different day. The start of this ride follows a lot of the 200. It's one thing I can think about this series of brevets is like this. Seems like a bit of repetition, which is never my favorite, but oh well. We're heading towards
Turn right
Stark
onto County Road 215.
on 215. There you go, another Circle K. Let's count them. We're just past sunrise, but you wouldn't know it. It's a foggy morning. Very few cars on the road, except for that one and that one. This day is nice and cool like this. It'll still be nice. There's a chance of rain today. It'll be warm though, high 60s I think. So that'll be fine, as long as it's not a downpour. Didn't bring any rain gear. It's not that kind of rain, I hope. So I just went by Camp Blanding, like a National Guard training center. It's right on Kingsley Lake, which I think is this round, perfectly round lake, like a sinkhole lake in Florida. You hardly get a view of it. I thought it would be a really neat spot along the route, but you're not very close to it. That's unfortunate. Still foggy. Keep rolling along.
Circle K.
Out of the gloom, the Circle K emerges. We're in Stark. It's so foggy. My glasses are all fogged up. Hey, the world is there. I just skirted around Stark. Kind of missed the big intersection. The route kind of went down some side streets. But I'm still heading basically west, southwest. Basically west southwest to Alachua, little town north of Gainesville. Went along some cypress areas along the road here.
Turn left onto County Road 235.
All right, we're gonna go left, a little south towards Brooker. So stop along the way. We won't stop, but it's a place along the way to Alachua. Here we go. Last year I couldn't ride this bike no-handed. The frame was all out of whack. It's old, it's my old 80s Yankee. And I like it. Carried it around with me. And this winter I decided to see what was wrong with it. I brought it to a mechanic and he straightened it up. I asked him to squish the chain stays a little bit so I could put a little wider tire in there. I'm running 28s. What a difference. The fork was a little out of whack too. You just put it back in shape. The bike's running great. It's great for down here in Florida. I had it painted, stripped down and painted, and new decals. Oh, a fun winter project, and it's kind of neat to ride it around like I used to when I was in my 20s. Circle K. Where is this? I think are we in Brooker now? I think we are. There it is. Amazing. What a scene. Santa Fe River and entering Alachua County. Circle K again. Oh, alright, I'm in La Crosse.
Turn left onto FL 121.
Going on
235 south.
a little turn here towards Gainesville and Alachua. The last little stop before Alachua, but I don't think I need any food. Doing alright. Alachua's at about 60. So not quite a third of the way through the ride.
Turn right onto FL 235 south, West State Road 235.
My main concern for this ride is getting to the northern control before it closes. Probably shouldn't worry about it too much. Should be okay. But it's after you go through the Osceola National Forest where there's no services for like 35 miles. If I don't get that one, there's no services, I think, for a while after that. So I want to make sure I hit that. I'm going to blow through Alachua kind of quick, I hope. There's Alachua about 10 o'clock, 60 miles by 10. And loaded up on some food and I'm out of here. It's a little bland. But here's the thing. When I used to live down in southern Georgia, and I thought it was really nothing at all to see. I knew the Okefenokee was there, but I can appreciate it a little bit more now, having checked out some of the natural history of the area. Some of the topography here, what little there is of it, is the result of, like, you know, long ago seashores coming in 40 miles inland and creating like barrier islands where now it's dry land. So you got these north-south little hills. They kind of run north-south. I think of like drumlins, but they're not as big as drumlins back north. But they do run north-south with the parallel to the coast. And to the west of these barrier islands, these hills, there's these wetlands like the Osceola National Forest and the Okefenokee Swamp. So it's just something I can kind of appreciate about the area now that I didn't before. Santa Fe River again. Went by, I think, Santa Fe River Ranch. I wonder what that was. There's supposed to be a store up here. Let's take a look. Didn't look like much on the map. Let's take a look at what they got.
In 1¼ miles.
It says it's closed. It said it was going to be open though. Well, you never know. A place like this could kind of save your bacon, or be a big disappointment if you're counting on it, but I don't know. If you're rolling through here on a Sunday, I wouldn't bet on it. Of course, I think I wouldn't bet on much down here on a Sunday. If it's a mom and pop kind of thing, stick to the big names maybe. That's always a good piece of advice. Circle K doesn't celebrate Sundays off, but mom and pop places might. About 11:20, we got some sun here. Finally, a little bit of sun. Hopefully that rain stays away today. They're calling for some possible chances of rain. We'll see. I think I've been doing a little bit of elevation gain over the last 10 miles since leaving Alachua. So going into a little headwind too, so you notice it. Nothing big. Gonna go up here, make a right, continue going north towards the Osceola National Forest. There's a ton of birds back there making a lot of noise. Spring in Florida in February. I could get used to that. Noticing some white marks on some of these trees, like this one here. I think those are like markers. There's another one. Those are like markers protecting those trees, or noting something about those trees as habitat for a woodpecker that's endangered in this area called a cockaded woodpecker. Saw a bunch of them in Okefenokee, but apparently they're down here too. So this pre-ride, the RBA doesn't want a brevet sheet, brevet card turned in. He has one. You can use it if you like. He doesn't hand out a cue sheet. It's just, here's the route on Ride with GPS. Go ride it. Send me the completed ride on Ride with GPS. That's electronic proof of passage that you actually rode the ride. And I like that. And in some ways, maybe the brevet card is kind of like the thing that seems like it makes randonneuring in some ways. But it's also kind of a silly thing when you think about it. I mean, in terms of like being proof, it's no more proof than anything else, I suppose. I mean, anyone could falsify or forge a brevet card. I think those skills are out there in the wild amongst the population, and for that matter too. So is the ability to falsify a Ride with GPS file, honestly. So I don't know, there seems to be a bit of a sticking point among some people about whether or not we need brevet cards, and it's interesting that different RBAs feel very differently about it in terms of like requiring that they exist or not. I just made a route up in New York, and we do have cue sheets. Our RBA requires that we create cue sheets. Cue sheets apart from the ones that are in Ride with GPS. There are people that we know that are in our region who don't use phones. I mean, it seems like no cell phone use. Like, even I'm using Ride with GPS on the phone today, but they don't use a Garmin or any other GPS. They don't use any other GPS device. They just use like an odometer in the cue sheet. I think that's great. But I don't think it's necessary that everybody has to create these cue sheets. They seem like they're kind of fall out of a Ride with GPS application as a byproduct, and that should kind of be good enough. I don't know, just some thoughts. Rows and rows of trees. Well, I had to come back for that one. That's what I thought that said. Elephant crossing. Well, I hope that's just joking around. There's no Circle K's out here. Nothing but trees. I haven't seen a car in probably half an hour. Union County, some other county, different road surface. I think there's a bunch of camps back in here. They have all these little names, you can't see a house or anything back there, but little signs, the mud hole, the crazy tram, things like that. Little white signs tell you someone's back there. They got a name for their place, kind of fun. I'm almost at 100 miles. Coming up on a control here. About 100. Looking forward to that. All right. So the Osceola forest. I think it butts up against the Okefenokee swamp, but it's managed for trees mostly. Kind of looks like it. The second control had no gas station at it, and it had the second control had big sign, gizzards and pizza, which is kind of funny. Don't see that every day. And someone came in, it's like asking for fried gizzards, and the lady's like, "What size do you want?" Like, it takes, I don't think that would sit well with my stomach, so I passed on the opportunity. My Ride with GPS app seems to have acted up here, losing the track from what I did, so I don't know what's going to happen here in terms of like submitting my proof of passage. That's where the Brevet card comes in handy. Getting close to the Big Gum. The Big Gum Swamp. It's a part of the Osceola Forest here.
1.5 miles, turn right.
So far it kind of looks all the same, but a little bit of wetland here and there, but mostly not. Turkey Run Trailhead.
In a quarter mile, continue straight.
30s and 40s, and at least in the
Mile 115 in the Big Gum Swamp Wilderness. Apparently they're doing some burns, but is it even showing up? It says caution smoke. I can see it, but I don't think the camera can see it. Alright, I'm at the Big Gum Swamp. Looks like it's, the time is 2:57, 3 o'clock. Doing alright. Right after that,
turn left.
right after that sign, the pavement got a lot nicer. It's like nice and smooth here. I pulled off, looked at that sign, some little ant got on me, a little biter. Nailed me right in the knee. Ouch. That's not Big Gum, it's all this pine that's surrounding it. Somewhere back there's a gum swamp, but that's kind of not it. A little dirt driving, I guess. This? Good grief. Must be that, right? That can't be it. Let's take a look. Path, but that's not a thing. Unless there's a road that connects over here, but this isn't very nice either. No. According to the GPS, Ride with GPS app, it should have been past this intersection. It's like they just did a controlled burn here. That's kind of interesting. It's all those smoke signs. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna report this as a problem with the route, because there's no way you could go down that burnt gas line or something. I don't know what the hell that is, but I can't go down that burnt gas line.
Slide left onto 17 Mile Camp Road.
That's not a thing, man. That's not a thing. I don't buy it. I'm not doing it. But that's what it's telling me to do. But look at that burn, man. It's all controlled burn kind of stuff, I imagine. It says I'm off route. This connects this alleged road. Oh, look, it's still burning. Still a little burn back there. Interesting. Huh. Still smoking. Well, it's not terrible to breathe. Kind of smells nice. Gonna go ahead. I think the route that he had given us there, a little messed up. I think RWGPS does that. Just comes up with random nonsense. Puts you out in the woods. Ooh, a blue heron. That was kind of neat. I don't think I got the camera on that fast enough. Haven't seen an alligator yet today. Allegedly they're in here. But it was all blackened and burnt. All the understory is burnt anyway. Huh. Yeah. That's where you would have had to come out. I wouldn't advise anyone to go down the controlled burn road. Sounds like that wouldn't be covered by insurance. All right. What is this? William Doyle
In 1
Way.
mile, turn left.
It's like a hunting camp, kind of bouncy dirt road. This one you can do. Kind of fun to go up there, but I'm not gonna. Keep plodding on. So you can make it. I've got 4 more miles of this. I'm gonna give it a try, but I've got 28s on and I feel my tire biting in. I could go down and ditch it here. I don't know if this is a great road. I mean, it's pretty, but I would want, you know, wider tires, 40s, something like that, 38s. That might be a little nicer to get through here. And should you get your tire caught in this, that's not great. Well, on we go. So a road like this kind of forces you to slow down and consider your actions a little bit. It's all sand and you could go down. I mean, there's horses' hooves. If you're out of the 2 tracks, you know, you'll go down. I might go down right here. Yeesh. Randonneuring is kind of like a hike on your bike, right? So it's not about going super fast. It's about covering some interesting ground. At least that's how I think about it. I think about it in the same kind of way I would think. Whoa. Whoa. Yo, yo, yo. Oh man. I think about it in the same way I would think about going on a hike. I wouldn't be thinking of hiking very fast. I kind of don't think about randonneuring very fast. Just taking my time and covering ground. But I don't know. I don't know if that was a choice or a mistake. Well, I did go down once. There's about a 100-yard stretch so far that was Tuesday and sandy. And I couldn't quite navigate it with these tires and it bit into it and went down. A little more packed down, further down. Must be about halfway through this, I would guess. It's, you know, it's nice. Got mixed feelings about it. Someone went by in a Corvette, which strikes me as silly. And a guy went by in a truck and saw me fall down. He thought it was funny. He's like, nope, not a good bike for this. I know. More walking. It's just too ruddy and sandy. You'll just go down like a ton of bricks. Bend your derailleur. Be a sad rider. So I don't know how far we gotta go here. But it looks really sandy at the end of this. I hope it's close to the end of this. Out of the woods, so to speak. That's just sand forever. I had to walk about a mile, I think, to be safe. I'm very glad to see pavement again. You could do that with a wider tire bike, like a 50mm tire bike. You could probably do it, but not 28s. Shoot. New road surface again. Bumpity bumpity bump. A little more rough. From that northern, I'm a few miles from that northern control, just before the Georgia state line. And I think it's kind of clear. I'm out of the, I don't remember seeing a sign, but I must be out of the national forest, because it's all, you know, people are managing their own land and clearing it out and burning it. So, oh, 4 or 5 miles, I'll be at that control. Start turning south. Should be able to get some food up here. Closes at 8. It's only like, I don't know. It's not even 6 yet. I actually don't even know what time it is. But it's not 8. I'm good. All right. Moniac. Pretty close to this control. It's only about 10 or 5 till 5. I'll probably get there about 5 o'clock.
Turn right onto FL2 East.
So I'm trying to remember where I crossed, or if I crossed into Georgia here. I don't think I did. Or did I? I must have. I'm on the other side of the St. Mary's. Huh. Don't remember seeing any signs. Well, I guess I'm going over something here. This must be the St. Mary's. When the heck did I cross it before?
Take notice.
I guess I didn't. Now I'm entering Georgia. There we go. Now it makes sense. Looks like people are there. Not closed. Oh, it's right with the world. Lacey's Country Store at about 5 o'clock. Sun's going down. Moving along here. Making good time. Let's see, where am I? I think I am. 6 o'clock. I have 45 miles to go. And RWGPS is missing my ride. It's like got me going these straight lines where I did not. This app is all bonkers. There she is. St. Mary's. Hello, Florida. I'm back. I'm at the McClinney gas station and it's closed. There's no indication of the gas price. I'm curious to see if this RWGPS app has actually tracked my ride. I don't know. I somewhat doubt it did. You know you're back in civilization when there's Circle K's. We're gonna wrap this up soon. Oh, that's our last Circle K, I think. Pretty dark out here. I bought at one of the controls, I bought a blondie, like a brownie that's not chocolatey, but it has some chocolate pieces in it. Every time I buy one of those, I get a heartburn, and I'm hurting right now. Hate that. Hey look, another Circle K. Make a couple more turns. Well, wonders will never cease. It did work. It looked like it wasn't working, but it seems to have captured the app seems to have captured the whole ride. So I got here a couple minutes before 10, so I'll call it 10. So that's 12 and 4, 16 hours. Anyway, that's it. Hey, well, I got it up on the rack. What is this bike? This is a 1987, I believe, Campione d'Italia. It's a Bianchi. It was a bike that I bought in Westerly, Rhode Island, when I was stationed in Groton, Connecticut, and I've had it all that time. Let's see, what can we talk about it? It originally came with Off-Mega, is that right? Off-Mega brakes. I switched them out for these 600s long ago, and I switched out the Off-Mega brake calipers for some 105s a long time ago. I don't even know what series those are, but they're fine. It came with Ambrosio rims. Those have, both rims have been bent and tacoed, so these are some you know, replacement wheels. These are Alex rims, and actually I don't even know what this is, but you know what, it works great. Yeah, the chain ring was originally like a 52/48 square taper. Nothing wrong with that, but when I tried to use this bike in New York, in the Finger Lakes area where it's super hilly, I couldn't hardly turn the thing. Now granted, when I was in my 20s, I think I could have done anything, but in my late 40s, I couldn't. And now I'm in my early 50s, and I don't know, I don't think anything's gotten any better. So my local mechanic put in Holotech, you know, I don't even know what you call it, the bottom bracket for a Holotech, and put in a Sora, and it's been great. I don't know what this size this thing is. It's got the, what do they call it? It's got a really big, for its style anyway, it's got a big low gear. I've kept the Suntour Cyclone derailleur. It's been fine, and this is a Suntour derailleur as well. And the seat, there was a Bianchi seat, and I had a Cell Italia for a long time that I liked, but it got all dinged up on the side. This came from like a takeoff shop. Recycle Ithaca's Bikes is like a people donate bikes, and you can just, you know, take things off them and, you know, throw them a donation. And so I got this Cell Italia Max, and it's been fine, pretty comfortable. I replaced the bars. They had 38, there were some Bianchi branded, I don't even know who made them, bars. They were like 38 millimeter or 38 centimeter bars. I replaced them with a Nito 42, which is the right width for me. This is the original stem. I had the whole bike stripped down and taken all the paint off and decals and repainted. This is a Cerakote painting, and it was, the whole thing was white when I had bought it, but the paint was all stripping off, and you know, it had been dropped and all sorts of things happened to it. So when I had it redone, I was like, you know, this thing's lugged. It's kind of weird. There's not a lot of bikes out there lugged out there today, so let's highlight it. So I had him buy a red color that I thought would match some of the decals. It's close. And he painted the lugs and the bottom bracket lug all red, and he did the stem to match, which I think kind of pulls it all together. And I got some red cabling, some non-compression brake cabling, and it's, you know, not aero, it sticks up in the air, the whole 9 yards, and it's been great. I once hit a car with this bike and bent the fork. So this is a replacement Bianchi Columbus tubing fork. The whole bike is Columbus tubing, and I couldn't swear to you what kind. Well, it says Formula 1. I think that was what it said at the time. I don't know. But it's not super light. I weighed the whole thing after I got it painted, and it was low 20s. It's not a super high-end bike. And yeah, so the tires are surface, what are they called? Surface inertia. And I was going to get some Continentals. Everyone seems to like Continental GP5000s or something like that, but these were super cheap. They were like buy two for the price of one Continental. And I talked to the guy, someone at Surface, and they tried to get into, you know, high-end bike tires. And this was their crack at it, and they make another version of this now. My mechanic had like gobs of them, so he's like, try these. So I have, and I'm happy with them. You know, I haven't done an apples to apples comparison with Continental, but they're all nice. They're, you know, I never thought much about that brand, but would buy again. That's the original seat post. It's a Bianchi seat post. Anyway, an old friend, and it's cool to be able to take it, you know, take it down to Florida. It's got a 6-speed. I didn't say that. It's got a 6-speed cassette. The Suntour AccuShift shifters, down tube shifters. I pulled those all apart and cleaned those all up. So they work like a dream right now. They were pulling a little hard before, but they were just all crudded up. But now they just shift really nice. And you know, when I had this dimpling done down here to put in wider tires, I thought about spreading the rear triangle and putting in a modern axle wheel on this bike so I could run more gears. But I decided to not. 6 speeds for the kind of riding I plan to do with it, which in Florida, you know, it's fine. And you could probably get the range you wanted if I got a different crankset. I could probably get the range I need to do crazy hills. But that's not this bike. This bike is for the flats, for winter, bringing it to Florida, having a good time. And I just think it's a hoot. I think it's a hoot to ride it. You know, I rode it with some other guys a few days ago, or a couple weeks ago, and kept up with everybody fine, and it was great. It's just really neat to have this old thing working again and doing its, you know, I can ride it straight. It's all been straightened out, and it's just really nice to have. Anyway, good ride, 300K pre-ride. I've got some comments I'm going to give Hamid, the RBA here, about his sandy his sandy detours and his controlled burn ride through the forest, and maybe one other place where there was a dead end that it didn't, the cues, you know, Ride with GPS sabotaged them, and I'm guessing he's never ridden this route, and I've done that before, making a route. Ride with GPS will just mess with you. So yeah, pre-ride done. I'll send this all to Hamid, and good luck to all the people who do Brevet week. I wish I could join you. That'd be fun.